75% just think that they're like in Europe, Tel Aviv cafes, socialism, and so on. The ones in the settlements think this way. The ones that the president and others want to uproot, they're totally convinced that yeah, this is their God, this is their government. Yeah. That's why they're doing it. That's why they're doing those settlements. The fact is, they're not settlements. I told you, they're like little towns. They've been there for 20, 30, 40 years in some cases. I think it's horrifying to make them uproot those places for other people to behave like lunatics who are just going to trash those areas. I don't understand it myself. It's just that one group has a lot of power because they're represented by 22 nations and oil interests, and the other group has nothing but this book. We'll see what happens. I don't expect much justice in the world in any case. But those people aren't hurting anybody. They just want to build up the land. In any case, that's really the end there of that section. Now we're going to get the oracles against surrounding countries, like in India. The day of Yahweh, line 9 of 13, is going to be merciless. See, now he's turning his anger against surrounding countries. 17, I stir up the Medes, people, northern part of Persia. They are pitiless warriors too. Babylon, the pearl of the kingdoms, shall be overthrown. Now, this might be retrospective. How does he know that Persia is going to overthrow the Babylonians? I don't know, frankly. That doesn't happen for another 200 years. Again, I can't judge that, if it's retrospective or not. 14. But, by the way, Arabs are mentioned almost for the first time in line 20 there. No Arab will pitch his tent there, no shepherd. Yes, Yahweh will have pity on Jacob. Now it's not north-south, it's the whole country. Sometimes it's north-south, sometimes it's the whole country. That's why I think it could be a compilation of different writers here. And the foreigner will join them. And the house of Israel will adopt them. In any case, they will capture those who captured them. Not a very inspiring vision there. More about being of the higher than the stars of God. Line 13, this throne, I'll sit on my throne. I don't know what all that means. I'll let you read that. More about against Babylon 22, we did that. Against the Philistines, 28. Philistines are broken. 32, Yahweh has laid the foundations of Zion. The Philistines do get wiped out to some extent in this period. I don't know the whole history of how or why, but they begin to disintegrate as well. Moab is the country across the Jordan towards present-day Transjordan. And chapter 15 has a lot of nasty imagery about that. Chapter 16. Let's see. The refugees, line 4 from Moab, you should protect them within the tent of David. In other words, they should give them some sort of protection. They've had a lot of bad things going on there, apparently. I think, if I'm not mistaken, David's, wasn't Ruth a Moabitess? So David, the Davidic monarchy has Moab blood in it, you see, which is interesting. So this idea of protecting the Moabites, the people across the Jordan, the other side of the Dead Sea, there may be something. There. So Ruth was David's grandmother, was she? Yeah. So David's grandmother was a Moabite woman. Is that a true story? I think probably that's true. How do I know? It just seems no reason to. Why would they make it up? 17 is against Damascus, who had allied themselves, remember, with Ephraim. So So here that alliance seems to be holding here. Something about both of them in 17. Cush is normally thought of as either southern Egypt, today's Ethiopia, Sudan or Nubia, or the area in, further down in Ethiopia. I think it's probably southern Egypt here. And then the Egyptians are never very, no one's ever very happy about them in 19. Then some narrative here in 1916. More references to the Exodus and the struggles between Egypt and Syria for domination. In 20 then, Sargon, he knows, is the king of Assyria, or the narrator knows it. So he's coming down along the coastline. Ashdod is on the Philistine coastline towards Egypt. And as a picture of Isaiah here, walking around naked and barefoot for the last 3 years. So Isaiah is obviously some sort of itinerant holy man who comes out with these visionary experiences. And out of that, he sees that the Assyrians will be take these captives from Egypt barefoot and so on. That's an interesting little image there, chapter 20. Not much, but it still seems more real than a lot of other stuff you read here. 21, Babylon is going to fall. How does he know it? I don't know, because that's not going to be for a long time. You're talking about Revelation, the Apocalypse. Look at line 9 of that. Fallen is Babylon. That's all in Revelation, remember? Babylon has fallen, Babylon has fallen. It's like chapter 21 or something of Revelation. Watchman image is going to be strong in Ezekiel and 11. Let's see. More about the destruction of Jerusalem. 22. Do not try to comfort me, line 4. Weep bitterly because of the destruction of the daughter of my people. More about these warlike people. And it's clearly 700 BC we're talking about here. Aram, Kir, they have horses and shields and all that sort of stuff. So it's pretty specific. Even the names, for instance, there's a family mentioned, line 24, Eliakim of chapter 22. I don't even know who they are. Okay, Tyre, 23.